starting to calm down a little bit. I come in here I got here like 4:15 this morning. Seen one car on the way to work. I drive 21 miles to work, and I've seen one car on the road in 21 miles this morning. Partially because it's early, but mostly because it's Corona. Corona season's in, you know. The rain was supposed to start, so I come in, I push, didn't do no YouTubes. But I'm gonna do some YouTubes here. Not being arrogant, trying to be helpful. That's all, okay? Everybody knows these bunks. I've battled them and battled them and battled them. And I'll get to how they all work here in a minute. But what I'm doing up here is I'm putting the release mechanism in, which this is what pulls the latch back here. And it's fit worthy. I think you can throw a good fit and not break it. I think it'll last pretty good. All right, now, I do get younger people ask me sometime about knickknacks, about getting started into things and everything, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm not here to, I promise you, I'm not just sitting here trying to look pretty and look like I'm doing something. What I'm trying to do is to show you that a moron like me can do this. If I can do this, anybody can do this. So I'm gonna set y'all down and show you what's going on and how you fabricate stuff. It's not, on something like this, that thing looks like a Frankenstein son of a buck, and it will till we paint it. It'll look Frankenstein-y as all mess, but now when we paint it, it'll finally look good. But till then, it's a rough looking, we've cut things off, welded things on, cut things back off and welded them in different spots. I've done all kinds of modifications of these things to get them fine-tuned. And the main thing when fabricating something is don't give up. It's gonna suck, I promise you. You're gonna hate yourself. You're gonna think you're the dumbest son of a buck around. But if you don't give up and you keep after it, it'll finally come together. All right, so I'm just gonna show you, I wanna fabricate this. What I'm doing, I'm fabricating this lever here to run this latch. See how that cable runs down to run that latch? And it's got a weight on it back here, and so that weight helps pull down. It also has a return spring down there. See that way down there? If I hold my screen right, see that spring extending, contracting, extending, contracting. All right, that's part of the return. But I also want a counterweight back there, because here's what's going to happen. One of these days that spring's going to break. And it's going to break. It ain't going to break when they're not using it. It's going to break in the middle of the day. So the reason I got the counterweight on back here is if the spring breaks, the bunk will still work. It just won't work as good. All right. So I'm going to do some of this if I can get you in a good spot and fabricate a little bit with y'all. But I'm telling you, be confident, get in there and get after it. It's worth it. And there's only one way to learn, and that's to do a bunch of it. Or be smarter than me. I had to do a bunch of it to learn. I mean, some people are smart enough, they can probably just kind of latch on. I've been around talented people that can just pick up on things. That ain't me. And if it ain't you, don't fret. You can still do it, no problem. That's fitting kind of snug in there, and I don't like it. I don't like the fit. No problem. Fits just fine. See that? Simple as that. Don't have to fret, don't have to worry about knickknacks. Just get after it. Make sure it passes the stress test. That's all there is to something like that. It's that simple. You don't have to be the sharpest tool in the shed to do things, to be useful. You just gotta want to be useful, that's it. I promise you. Go out there, start making messes, and get with it. One thing I was gonna show everybody. This is a thin angle iron, and this is a situation where that fits back in that pocket. See that? See how I gotta have it fit back in this pocket? People gets on me from time to time about welding downhill. Now, everybody knows you're supposed to weld uphill. Anybody get in an argument with you over whether you weld downhill or uphill, it's always uphill. But that's for your most strength. But there's times, like in that situation, that weld didn't have to be the strongest weld in the world. I didn't want to stitch it because I wanted it smooth in case anything happened in the top corner, bottom corner, it wouldn't bend or break. But as far as strength, I didn't need a lot of it. I just needed enough of it. And people that's doing things in absolute, if it's cutting timber and they tell you you have to do it this way, or you're fabricating and they tell you you have to do it this way, people in absolute miss out big time. They sit there behind their principles and they miss out all the little knickknacks that can save them time, that can open them up to new, different opportunities and ideas. So watch that. God has to have his principles, but he don't need to stand on them all the time. He needs to be using this thing a lot. All right, and be flexible. All right, so here's how this works. To come up with some of the problems we've had in the past, these rollers taking off across the parking lot because the parking lot is sloped has been a problem. So I took them little tubes and put a magnet in them, and there's magnets to draw them back. It works better on that small one than it does the big one. but it works on both of them. See how it kind of sucks back? So there's magnets in there, and that helps out a bunch. And then lining up against that tube lines them up straight, so that part works. The other part of the problem I run into, the spring on the door return. I've been having a heck of a time trying to figure that out. Finally, I got to thinking about being a kid in the milk parlor, and there was doors and stuff I remember in the milk parlor, and I might not be remembering that right, because I can't remember if Mama's doors, when she let a cow into the milk parlor, would roll just downhill and relax where it's supposed to, or what. But for some reason, I think down at their farm, I remember seeing pulley systems to shut doors automatic. Oh, and you guys need to wipe your mouth off. Oh man, you guys, oh, y'all just filthy, just disgusting. So, that being said, I come up with this goofball idea, which works wonderful. When you push out to open a door, the door don't need to have a lot of pressure on it, so the bundle can push the door open. But the door's got to travel all the way from all the way here all the way back shut. And I got to thinking, what about a pulley system? So yeah, I took them weights and hung them on a pulley, hung them out of there and hung them down there. And watch this. You open the latch, and look at this. One finger, I can open the door with one finger. Over to here, let go. Beautiful. So that way, if you're doing push out, you can stack 6-8 layers on there, and the boards don't weigh much. It ain't got enough weight to open a heavy door, so the door needs to be light enough. And then that's what I come up with on it. That's the best solution I could come up with my mentality. They're gonna pull their lever back. The bundle push the door open, and it's shut nice and smooth. Love it. Just think it ain't a one-time fits all. Here's the other one. Beautiful. We'll take it. When you're stacking, sometimes, especially when you're a rookie like me, you put the wrong length board in a bundle and you need to swap it over to a longer bundle or shorter bundle. So if you have things hanging out here in the open, they're going to get snagged. But I'm hoping with these wires going straight up that they won't be getting snagged if you're going from one bundle to the other. Now, when I built this cart over here, I didn't have my solution figured out, so I'm getting ready to go have to work on it too. This is the newest one, we just slid it in here. And it's got a spring return on the door, and I'm gonna show you why it don't work. First off, I need to get me a spring on that, because this thing is too damn bouncy. But that being said, so here's the door. So it opens up. I can't figure it out. Look at this. And it bounces and it comes back out. Why don't I first go get my spring and put on my doodad like I know I need it, and then maybe it'll snap. Because here's what happens. You all sit here and watch this second. Okay, so I'm opening up, okay? Now watch this thing. Watch how it does. See? Which that's the damn thing about a spring. It's gonna bring it back radical. Where you want it to come back nice and soft. Which is what this pulley system does. You know? Well, it's hooking on this roller down here. Now look how soft it comes back. That's how it needs to do. So I can't decide, do I just rip the spring off there? I need to, don't I? What do y'all think? I just need to cut the daggone spring off there. See, look at that, would you? Let me do it one time where y'all can see it up close. What do y'all think? I'm gonna tell you another thing. Now, I'm just as guilty as anybody else. When I first started building things, I couldn't take criticism. And let me tell you something. I pumped out some pretty crappy products. I ain't gonna sit there and brag on these, but they work. But to get them to work, it's took information from the stackers, lumber graders, Stevie, Robin, Morgan, which he don't work here anymore, which I hate. But it took information from everybody to get these to work. And look at that, it's a new one I just built and I still don't have the door figured out. I'm close. I just got to modify a couple things to make it work. But it takes everybody. When you're building something, you want criticism. Even if it's from that old guy that's a turd, it's gonna make you want to cry your little panties. You know what I mean? That guy will teach you a lot. You just gotta adjust your attitude. These old timers that come on you real hard, they want you to listen, but they don't necessarily have it all figured out because things do change. And a lot of times old timers don't change, but their lessons and their habits, you know, are what you need to catch and latch onto. And your attitude will adjust. Your attitude will curb how much information they will give you. And then, but the last thing you do is you take an old timer with the character flaw of bitterness, and you take that bitter character flaw and you gobble that right up. That's his character flaw. You don't need to suffer from his character flaw. You take their character flaw and you work with them and you get them going, and they'll teach you things, and they'll be happy to teach you things, and they'll want you to do it right. Rick, I've got some cleaning to do, but these are done. I ended up doing just like we talked about, and I got that up there, if y'all can see up there, and then I'll let y'all see the action of it. Let me set y'all up where you was before. Let me get you a little higher vantage point so you can see a little bit more. There, how's that? All right. That's a lot more controlled. The only thing I don't like is I got that gate heavier than the other ones. I don't like that, but it still work, and it's still, and them their 16s are heavier. There's a lot more push on that gate than there is on the others. So I'd rather that be a little lighter, but it can't go any lighter. I tried it lighter and it wouldn't shut. But I love the positive pull on that cable as opposed to a spring. The spring made it bounce. You see how the spring done a poop, whereas the cable's a solid draw. Chunk. You know what I mean? It don't stop. It don't bounce, but it don't. There's not recoil. There's just a shut and a hold. You know what I mean? I like that part. But all the levers are done. Everything's done. None of them's bolted down. I didn't want to commit to that yet. Them two are welded together. I did put a piece in to weld them together, but they're all, you can tell by looking at this gap down here, they're kind of, they're not where they need to be. I need to string from that post over to that post and then line them up perfect on the string. And then once I do, I'll put a piece in here to weld them all together so they're fastened together. You know, something you can cut back loose if you need to move them out, but something's going to hold them steadfast. But I love it. I love it. Now this one is a little spongier because it don't have a recoil spring. but it's got to stop. I think it works fine. It's got less parts to make it work, so it should be. Anytime you can eliminate some parts, you're money ahead, I promise you. Let's get back to the shop. A 5.5-inch pipe, so I'm going to run up a bare hollow and cut a piece of pulpwood off. Video, or you like it or not? You have to smile. Now I'm putting her on video so she wouldn't yell at me.
I'm not having a good hair day.
You look cute anyway. Alright, both trucks are destroyed. They are full of junk. I'm gonna have to pull them in the shop. The rain's coming. I got up this morning, I think it's 3:45, and I was out of the house by 4 o'clock. And I was here at the mill at 4:30. So, thank goodness I did all that, because the rain is just now coming and we're just going over here to cut our pulpwood piece off. By the time we take it down and put it in, I'm sure the rain will be in full-fledged here. And then we'll go in the shop and clean up our vehicles. They are a mess. Now, a lot of people ask me on what would I do if I had all the time in the world and could do what I want to do. It would be fix up Blackie. And I get asked that all the time. Well, when are you going to put this stuff on Blackie? I don't know. I can't. You know, these guys are down here working, battling this elements. It's hard for me to say it's okay on the inside to go put shinies on Blackie when down here these men are working their butts off. I just I have trouble doing that, although I really want to, and my YouTube would do good if I did. And oh, Blackie would look so cool. I got the eagle hood for it where the headlights are stacked on top of each other. Oh, Blackie would look so good if I could spend some time on it. I can't. When I get time to do something like that, I spend it fixing things for everybody else. Get them by for this week. I'll get some steel in. I'm gonna get a special piece made for that. It's got rubber around it. It's gonna be expensive, but it's gonna be worth it. So I wanted to make sure it all worked before it did. Phew! Just in the nick of time. My feathers are getting wet. I can't fly when my feathers are wet. And I'll get back on. Damn, I can't believe we're low on them. We're gonna grind all that mulch. Werner's is bringing her chipper in. They're gonna start chipping this week and grinding and coloring. I hope we are running pulpwood. We're running for pulpwood. We got a patch of timber. It's got a bunch of blowdown on it. We're getting ready to go to. And we're gonna hit that thing hopefully we can get it in here and get the chipping before we run out. This daggone Rona's put it on us now. It's all cause of Rona. We're up almost 30%. Just flirting with 30% rise in production, and we've got some stuff at the mill. We didn't pump out as much mulch last year from the mill. That's top secret why, but we haven't. So, man, the daggone Rona put it on us. I think we can outrun it, but it's gonna be down to the skin of our teeth by the time we get. They're gonna chip all that, and the mulch demand will gobble that up. In 2 weeks, we're gonna need wood now. We're gonna need more wood. Whew. I'm gonna go down here and I'll show you one little trick Big Mama's got up her sleeve. We brought in a bunch of pine off a job that we was gonna sell for crating. And Eli, thank goodness, Eli being Eli, he just experienced and he knows, his gut knows things. He went ahead and took it on his own to separate the big diameter pine from the small diameter pine. So here's what happened. We got a bunch of small diameter pine in this rick up here. Yes, we got the expense in it of cutting it up. We cut it up to the length and everything to run through a pallet operation. But this pile right in front of me here, this pile right here, it's got smaller diameter stuff in it. And then he put the big diameter stuff over here. And the idea behind that, oh yeah, and there's some more, there's another one of big diameter stuff. The idea behind that is if we got into a mulch mess, which we are in, this whole rick of logs right here, this rick right here, we'll take it up there and put every bit of that through the chipper. Yeah, I know, it's a waste of money, but it's like this. We absolutely, positively cannot let our mulch customers that we take care of run out of mulch. Absolutely, positively not. That cannot happen. No matter what. If I got to run Brutus around the clock, no matter what, we're not letting our mulch customers run out of mulch product. That cannot happen. Absolutely cannot. I can't stress it enough. If you let your mulch customers run out, they'll find new customers. And we ain't about to let that happen. We'll take a loss, we'll do whatever we have to do to keep them, make sure that market is fed. Absolutely. So if you're a mulch customer of ours out there, and you're watching this, and you're wondering, are you gonna have your mulch? You damn straight you're gonna have your mulch. I wouldn't say we're gonna cut up veneer logs and put in the daggone thing, but you're getting wood, you're getting your wood. Rona or no Rona. All right, let's throw a hillbilly chunk of wood up here. Come here, you little piece of copper. Large in diameter, but it'll get the job done for a week. They've got to kind of ramp up on it, but they will, that being wood and being, yeah, it'll work. We'll see how it works.